There it is. Hey everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here. For some reason it took a second for the live to come up. Normally it's like 3, 2, 1 and it just starts. So that's why I was like, is this gonna work? Touching my face right now. It's okay. I wash my hands. I'm in my own home. I don't go anywhere because I'm not that cool. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to pop on and talk about right now is intermittent fasting, and especially intermittent fasting for women right now during this time. So if you are catching a replay of this or seeing this down the line on my YouTube channel, and my YouTube is just Dr. Beth Westy, so a lot of people subscribe to that just so they stay updated on all the videos on health and wellness that I do. But intermittent fasting is a really kind of popular trend thing that's actually been around for thousands of years for humans, for a lot of different reasons. But when we look at intermittent fasting, I've gotten some questions recently on this, especially related to right now what's happening for people. I'm under stress. I am binge eating. I don't know what to do about that. How do I manage my stress, manage my food? And oh my God, I'll do intermittent fasting. That seems great. And maybe I can lose weight while I'm doing this quarantine thing, and it's going to be amazing. And I got to tell you, for a lot of people, a lot of women, this is really not the time to stress your body out more. Yeah, and I'm going to explain this and talk about the hormonal cycle, but also keep in mind, I'm going to address women who are in perimenopause and menopause as well, because this can actually throw your body and kick out more of a hormone damaging response. In fact, I just talked to somebody the other day that this is what happened for her. This is, and I'll tell you the exact scenario, because it's just a classic example of how women will jump into something like intermittent fasting thinking, I want to get healthy, or what do I do? Intermittent fasting, I'll save my food supply. Anyway, yay. It's okay. The grocery stores are always being replenished. We have an abundance of food, I promise. So it's going to be fine, but just know that the intermittent fasting piece, if you're using that for a weight loss tactic while your body is stressed out, it actually can lead to the opposite effect happening, meaning you're going to gain weight and actually have your system and body store more fat. What? Yeah, yes. And so I'll explain this and how the female body responds, but this is really a tough thing for a lot of women to go through, because they're like, okay, I'm trying this. I'm trying to do something healthy. I'm trying to do something good for me. Oh my gosh. Hi, Kiki. And so women will just all of a sudden jump into fasting and say, oh, I'm going to fast. Here we go. I'm at home anyway. I'll just set a schedule and I'll just do the fasting. It'll be fine. I'm okay. It's fine. Right. And then you actually start fasting and you're like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, my body's having an awful response. Oh my gosh, what's going on? And this is it. This is what happened. This is what happens. Hi, Angel. This is what happens when your system is fasting and you're not ready for it. So for a lot of women right now, the increase in stress, even if you're like, well, I still have a job, like we're okay. There's just a lot of stress right now happening in the world. And taking that separate time for yourself to process is really important. But even if you're like, well, I still have my job, or I'm working from home and my kids are home and yeah, you have to manage a whole new thing. Everything got turned upside down. So to stress your system out more by adding fasting to it when your body is not primed and ready for it will have the opposite effect. Here's what I mean. So for women that have an active cycle here, estrogen phase here, days 1 through 14, that's the estrogen phase, progesterone phase here, days 15 through 28. Your system is actually more sensitive to stress at this point anyway. Now we throw in more stress just everywhere, right? And for the next, at least a week or so, we don't know exactly when it's going to end. People are estimating, another month, another 2, whatever. Okay, fine. Be that as it may, that increase in stress in your body, sleeping the same way that you used to sleep, which is going to increase the cortisol response even more so when you're in this phase. So keep that in mind. This is not a normal, typical, regular stress response. This is like the extreme stress response. So it takes a lot of resources and stores from your body. It takes a lot from yourself, right? Leading to that nutrient depletion. So it'll add to it. It'll add to the fat stores. It'll add to the cortisol, which then rolls into more fat stores and everything else. And you just start this thing. Most of what women experience when they start intermittent fasting and it's not the right time, your body's too stressed, everything else, is that you just feel like garbage. You feel exhausted, fatigued, weak, brain fog, not a good time. You have to fuel your body first, prep it, so you can do intermittent fasting successfully and get the right result with it. So if you have not done intermittent fasting before, or even if you have and you haven't been priming your body and you're not getting enough nutrient and you're not managing your stress and you're not taking adaptogens for your stress, do not just start jumping into intermittent fasting right now. Willy-nilly, just, I can do it totally great. No, your system will more than likely have a really harsh response to it. There's gonna be a fallout and it's not gonna be pretty. Now, if you're in perimenopause or menopause, this is how your system is gonna react all the time, as if it's in this phase here, always more sensitive. So for example, I chatted with a gal the other day. She has been healthy, like very fit, works out all the time, her whole life, and she's in her mid 50s now, and she's like, yeah, I've been working out, and you know what? Last year, I went through a stressful time last summer, and I noticed I did put on a little bit of weight with that. I was trying to take it off. And she goes, I haven't had a cycle in a few years. So I'm like, well, beyond, it's fine, not a big deal, right? Stressful time last summer, put on some weight in the last fall. So this is like 6 months ago, 5-6 months ago. She starts doing some fasting, just jumps in, just fasting, just, okay, I'm going to do it. Great. But didn't get her system ready for it. And all of a sudden, trying to do fasting, didn't even fast for that long. Tried to incorporate some fasting routines for just a few weeks. All of a sudden, she started sleeping horribly, the most horrific hot flashes. And she's like, yeah, I had like a little bit of a hot flash for like 6 months before, when my cycle stopped, but it wasn't a big deal. She's like, I thought I had it easy. And she goes, now it's every night, super intense. I wake up completely drenched and it's awful. And she goes, it only started after I started fasting. I was like, yeah, that stress that you had and your body got depleted and you gained weight, and then doing the fasting was like that last straw for your system, and it said, no more, forget it. Yep. So that's a reaction to the depletion, the increased stress, and how intermittent fasting, even though it's a wonderful thing, your body might not be ready for it. So if this is something you're looking at, really make sure you're actually fueling your body right now. If your system's craving more carbs, if you're binge eating, all that stuff, it's very normal, and it's because your system needs that support because you're not getting that nutritional support, protein paste throughout the day. I know, not fun to hear some of this stuff, but if you want to get to a place and reset your system, reset your body, this is what we do in the 12-week challenge. We eat for your hormones in your cycle. We help work with your body and metabolism to make sure that we're restarting things in the correct way, correct order, and that it's supportive for your system and not going to be a huge negative shock. So we are starting April 6th. I mean, this actually might be the last time I post this because we are almost full and capped in our next 12-week challenge. I have to sign up for a call with my team to see if this is the next step for you moving forward. And this is something that when you have the right guidance, when you have the right knowledge, it will give you the right results. Here's another thing too, when we look at sleep. If you're stressed out right now and you're not sleeping well, focusing on a sleep routine is going to be important. If you guys want more info on this stuff, let me know. I can do more videos created around some of this stuff and what you may be experiencing, just so I can give you some good support. But I wanted to show you this. This is an example of our Dutch test results. So I do hormone testing for women, and that actually helps you see exactly where your system's at. And if you're having trouble sleeping and your melatonin levels are off, then a lot of times that trickle-down effect, you're going to have cortisol issues. Your cortisol levels can be off. They can be low, they can be high, the pattern can be off throughout the day. Getting a Dutch test also tells me exactly where your system is going off, so we can work on correcting that too. Other resources I have for you. My podcast is The Female Health Solution. I've recorded some pretty good episodes, some great info and content for you, and a fun one that's going to be coming out soon. Recently had my 200th episode, which was a fun one, and I got such a great response from that. I just did another kind of fun one. So I'm excited about that. You'll see when it gets released. And then my book, The Female Fat Solution, this is on Amazon. Again, talking all about nutrition that matches your hormonal cycle and how to really use that to your advantage. And I do talk about intermittent fasting in here and when to do that and how it's going to align best with your body and system. So on Amazon for you as a resource too. All right, it's a lot of stuff, right? That's what I got for you tonight. Let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, enjoy your evening and I will see you guys later.